I always believe it is one that your attitude makes you to be successful. It's most time all of us would have the character, the core values in you. At the end of the day, it is about yourself to make it happen. The motivation is always within you. No one could motivate you unless you have a desire. I learned something about networking at my later years of life, whereby how do you make networking or making relationships? It's more about making an effort to start a process. Motivation comes from within you. How do you initiate when you want to meet somebody and you want to maintain the relationship? It always starts with a suspect to a prospect, and then you successfully make it your client. Developing it is always like today you are an insurance agent or an insurance practitioner. You also hold a role as a person. It can be a male, female. You are a daughter or a son to your parents, your spouse, a wife or a husband to your partner, father to your children, and also brother-in-law or sister-in-law, etc., etc., uncles or aunties. Why I'm saying this all is because you did develop relationship along the journey with your family members. Why don't I put it this way to you, that if you develop this relationship and you use the same approach in your process from suspect, prospect to clients, and end of the day, what is in you to make it leveraging the process of networking in a professional relationship? How do I, in my own context of leveraging, I learned this about, do you make yourself referable or are you referable? What I'm trying to highlight to you, if you do give referrals to your clients, your prospects, eventually they will also reciprocate with you. Of course, 18 years in the industry, I built confidence. And what is the confidence for you to sell? All of us know that you must believe. The belief and the conviction in you to bring you outstanding, stand out. And in front of the customer or the client, I always treat it as you must stay focused and believe. You must have that energy to generate to your client, to make them believe that you have this power of this financial product you deliver to them. Of course, the trust is always built over time, or you could do it depending on how well you want to know your client. The relationship, well, I define relationship in the other way. I would used to say this, I learned this from Adela Chung, also a past MDRT chairman. She says this, the quality of your relationship depends on the quality of your business relies or depends on the quality of your relationship with your clients. If you could develop this type of relationship with your clients over a period journey, again, do you know that the moment you close the deal, the relationship starts? And how well you maintain it, develop it, leveraging it, it's all in your hands. That's where, at the later part of my sharing, I talk about the activities about it. Of course, client buy is because of you. With you having to display the kind of all these characters, I believe all of you would able to achieve it. Are you a specialist in your chosen field? When you one day, the first day you establish this yourself in this career, may I ask you this? Was somebody sent you here to become an insurance practitioner? Or it was because of the desire that you look out for the money making, the income that you generate? If it is, then how long you intend to stay in this industry? If you have the kind of interest to develop yourself to be a specialist, then the journey is always there, and you have the passion, you make yourself to have this lasting impression. Like all of us, if you want to be wonderful, to be terrifying, to be making a meaningful journey as an insurance practitioner, you must have this in your mind. How to give lasting impression when you first meet your someone to one day becomes your client. Give this your thought. If you really have an effort, because all of us, when you meet someone, you wouldn't know that this person is going to be your clients or the first generation, the second generation, or subsequent generation. If you really make this effort, you could make it. I believe you would do it. How can you make your prospect fully understand your financial product? I learned this about Fact Find. You always be a listener. You have to listen to understand the process from the day you get to know your client. Always is a process that you first establish. Do you have this documentation that you keep with you? Why I ask you this? I do have this little documentation I keep for each time I meet my client. What is it called? Agent prospect. So I have this permanent file that I keep with me. I record down when I meet this person. The little things about this client that I keep those information. And before I meet the client, apart from what I learned from MDRT, the agenda meetings that you have to stable out when you meet the client. First thing I learn, I read the client's database. I will look at it, I read it through again and again before I meet the client. If you make your preparation, you focus, you understand, then when you meet the client, I believe what you have read, what you have gathered, you have the sincerity. And what your intention to reach out is the financial product with the process of financial security or peace of mind for your client. Of course, my subject matter is about managing your activities than to manage your results. If you really have a desire, how do you start every day to do your business? How early you start off, how disciplined you manage your time, and do you do it yourself or you do delegation? All of us know that you cannot be a one-man show, or I will share with you in typical Penang Island, that's where I come from, you have a lot of those char kway teow lady who cook, who fried the char kway teow for you. He delivers the plate of char kway teow to your client. He collects the money, he takes the order, and he also have to wash the plate. If you're doing everything all on your own, there's no way that you could do it. And again, you could not focus. So you have to learn delegate. So again, during the process of this journey, my journey as an insurance practitioner, I have really thanked Stephen Covey's books on 7 habits about what we have to do on these 4 quadrants. What is important and urgent? What is important and not urgent? Which is the important, not urgent, that is where you do the appointments, reaching out, planning most of the time. The rest of it, like not important and not urgent, is our unproductive time, like you're having your dinner, having your time to watch your television. But all these are necessary. That's where for you to wind down. But all of us know that you have 24 hours in a day. But actually, to be productive, do you think that you really work full 24 hours? I think some of us who could do at 8 hours or sometimes 6 hours. So you must focus how do you plan your time. So you must have established appointments, gathering data. For me, having with the 18 years with me, I have a set of database. I always talk about policy annual review. When you talk about policy annual review, but some clients may say that I'm not going to see you, or 3 years later, 5 years later. I make another approach, alternative that I would use to say it. That is, I look at their birthday list. So every year they have January to December. So you have different months. It's a very simple process. I pick it up from the company's portal system. You establish all the clients on the birthday in that month. Instead of you do it the same month when they are born, I do it forward. I do it March. I work on the March, April. I send out the list by way of email. I don't make a visit to them. I say that it's time that the system prompt me to look into your policy review for your family. And I'll make an appointment with them. I'll get my support staff to make the appointment and line up for me. and I'll just plan it. So the next appointment or the next month you would do for those in April, May, and etc. etc. This is how I develop the activities, and it's always you will not be out of clients to see. At the same time, you also will have to do that kind of getting referrals. And along the journey, when you get referrals, you must be sincere. Asking referral is not just, hey, your phone list, may I have it? Sometimes I go on a very simple approach. I have lunch with my clients because I'm a life as well as a general insurance agent. So I enter to work on my clients on the life business, and I look into their general, if they say they are in businessman or a business owner. From there, I work on the general, so I'm able to meet them together with the suppliers. Here, sometimes you have business lunch, and you meet them. But if you are so hurriedly to get the business, then they could smell that you are actually targeting them. But along the way, you share knowledge, you discuss, you talk about other things, and the second time, the third time, when your clients bring this supplier to visit together with you, or have lunch again, or for drink, I think process. If you look at the process, I believe it is the time investment that you have. And all of us know the 70-30 Pareto law, or the 80-20, if you how long you establish in the business. I take care of my existing clients very well. I wouldn't say that it's so well to the extent that those I have also not able to sustain it, but some of them, I get my junior from an agency to look into all this for me. You cannot be grabbing all of them. I will not say that I'm not able to support them or to develop them, but you learn how to detach, you learn how to give, and you also help the juniors to rise in the process to become a financial practitioner.